4 people who were hurt in the Robbins lumber mill explosion are still being treated at Maine Health Maine Medical Center in Portland.
In the 4 weeks they've been there, first responders have been collecting donations for family members who've been spending most of that time at the hospital. Chris Costa joins us now with a new call for help. Hi, Chris.
Hi there, Amanda. One of those people you're talking about is Katie Page. She's a firefighter for both Belmont and Northport. And she was one of the people injured in the blast. Her husband, Paul, tells me she's getting hand graft surgery today, and that while she was nervous, she is in good spirits. The Portland Firefighters Children's Burn Foundation is helping families like hers entirely through donations because they say burn injuries are life-changing.
When you see a large-scale event like this, you want to jump into action.
It comes naturally to firefighters.
That's who we are. Yeah.
When news broke of the Robbins lumber mill explosion, Chris Cole knew he had to do something.
So our involvement began very quickly, and we haven't really left the family's sides since.
12 people hurt, 1 volunteer firefighter dead.
It certainly hits a little closer to home when it is another first responder.
Others still in the hospital. More than 25 days since the incident.
It's a long process. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done for both the families and the survivors, and we just want to make sure we're there along the way. The request will come through by email, usually from the Maine Med Care team.
Cole is a Portland firefighter and a member of the Portland Firefighters Children's Burn Foundation. It's a nonprofit dedicated to helping burn survivors and their loved ones.
The community has certainly rallied together. It's a very, very large outpouring to make sure that these families are supported, and they have expressed gratitude on numerous occasions.
Since the explosion, the Burn Foundation has been organizing donations, money that has been paying for families at Maine Med to stay in hotels, eat meals, and more. And recognition for the hospital staff, too.
And they can take something off their plate while they are with their families to ensure that they get to heal and recover. There's some wild stories out there.
But these firefighters say their support goes beyond dollars. Because burn injuries leave more than physical scars.
This was a very large event, right? Traumatic for anyone involved. Now you take that and they're in their recovery phase and long duration, they are now different.
So your relationships change with your loved one and your partners and your children and your parents. It's not a broken arm, it's not a hidden injury. The behavioral health side of it is huge in how to navigate society and stares and comments and in building that confidence, strength in the burn survivor to interact in public as they had before or as close to as they had before.
The foundation runs a winter camp for young burn survivors.
One girl told me it's not therapy camp, it's a place where I can go and just forget about my burns for a week.
And when camp ends, or when patients leave the hospital, they go back to a new normal.
We're not concerned about this moment. We're helping with that. We're concerned about 2 months from now, 6 months from now. These injuries don't just go away for these folks, but a lot of other people's lives do continue to move on, and we want to make sure that we're still there with them.
So the Children's Burn Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit, again, it itself runs entirely on donations. People in Belmont are hosting a fundraiser later this month for Katie and another firefighter, Wayne Woodbury, who is also hurt. That event takes place June 28th in the town of Belmont. And next week, we're going to take you inside the only hospital in Maine that can treat burns and explain the new technology that they are using. In the studio, Chris Costa, News Center, Maine.